All right, what's up, guys? I'm Trey Alessio, the Dawn of Entertainment. This is Are You Entertained? Unfiltered Cinematics. Jared Stansbury making the debut on it. What's up? So we just got out of Tupac biopic, All Eyez On Me. We went to see it in Altoona. A lot of things to say about this movie, so it's getting terrible reviews, but we are going to give it our own review, our Are You Entertained version. So initially, I'll let you kick things off. What were your initial thoughts on this one?
I guess, man, my first real thought was that it just felt like it was a bunch of scenes kind of put together more than it really was.
Yeah.
One movie with, I mean, it had a plot and it had a theme, you know, but it felt like there wasn't really one thing that tied the whole movie together. It was just like one thing after another, and it's just like one piece of his life after another. I mean, I think more back to like Straight Outta Compton, is like there was one thing that was kind of like tied everything together.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
for
like,
sure. It didn't feel that way with this movie, and it felt like they were kind of just jumping from one thing to the next and to the next and to the next. And I mean, it was an enjoyable movie. It could have been, like we just were talking about, it could have been about 30 minutes longer or shorter probably, but I mean, I was entertained for most of it. It's just it seemed like it could have been done better.
I totally agree. I think now coming at it from a screenwriting standpoint, because I'm a screenwriter and I like to do that sort of thing, but it's very hard to construct a biopic because there's so much you want to fit into the movie to make it, because you want to do the person's life a justice, you know what I mean? I don't want to say that they did Tupac an injustice, because I was entertained, I liked the movie. I just think they constructed it in kind of a, I don't want to say a bad way, but a weird way. I think it was weird how they made the rape charge and him in jail the focal point. I don't know if that should have been the focal point. I would have liked to seen a little bit more into like Biggie, that beef. They briefly touched on it. I would have liked to have seen more of Jada and Tupac's relationship. They touched on it and they kind of came back to it, but we really didn't get more than a shallow level. You know, it really didn't peel back as much layers as I would have liked to on Tupac. I feel like I learned a lot of things, but according to Jada and a lot of people on Twitter, they say that this movie, a lot of it is very untrue. So I mean, I don't know what to think there. I was entertained. It wasn't the greatest movie, like you said. It went from scene to scene to scene. They didn't really get deep into a lot of things. Wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. What other thoughts do you have?
Going back to kind of what you said about the rape case, it was just kind of weird that they were doing the flashbacks with the guy interviewing him, and it seems like that really could have cut a lot of that stuff out. That could have been one scene that was in the movie when he's in jail or something like that, and it's just like they kept cutting back to that part, and then they'd go back to his past again, and it's like, yo, like, let's just try and keep it linear a little bit more
Exactly. And I kind of got lost in the whole translation, because obviously he's being interviewed and it's all flashbacks, but then at one point they cut and it's just, you feel like that is the real time, but then technically it's still a flashback because it's still going chronologically. It was a very weird setup, and like you said, linear.
I just felt like some of the actors too at times.
Yes, great point.
They just felt kind of fake. Like the Tupac, I don't remember what his name is.
Yeah, I don't know the guy's name.
I mean, he was awesome, dude. He did about as well as he probably could have in that role. I
have a hot take here. I'm going to disagree a little bit. So at the end there, we saw like a real Tupac clip from an interview. I thought at the beginning, I thought that the only thing that the actor playing Tupac had going for him was the fact that he looked like him a lot. He got better as the movie went on, but at the beginning I felt like they didn't do him justice, because when I go back and I watch Tupac interviews, they're so articulate and so in detail, and he's preaching, and I feel like at the beginning there, they made him just say, they fuck this, fuck that. Like, they just had him cussing and like an outlaw. And he was that, but I think he preached, and he was, he had a deeper level to him. And I don't know, they really showed that a lot. And that I was kind of disappointed in that regard. I thought the mom was a great actor. Actress.
I just think that with him, it was like, I'm not sure how much better he could have done.
That's true.
Because it's like
true.
that's a really deep person to have to try.
It is, and it's so hard.
Act as and I mean, like I said, I kind of think back to Straight Outta Compton, and those guys were so good that it was really believable that that's who they were.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And, I mean, it was believable that he was supposed to be Tupac. But then, you know, you look at the guy that plays Suge, like you see the guy that, you know, we were talking about Snoop Dogg, where we're pretty sure that they just dubbed Snoop Dogg's voice over this other guy's voice.
I was just about to say, we have to throw shade at that a little bit. I was cracking up in the movie theater. That shit was so whack, I have to say. And Snoop Dogg, when he first came out with the puffy afro, oh my God, I was cracking up. And then you could just tell they looped the voice.
Right.
It was a voiceover Snoop, and then the words didn't match. I also could tell that they were lip syncing the performances. You know, so that's ticky-tacky shit, but you know, in a movie like this, you gotta pick apart like that. So yeah, any last thoughts before we give it a little ranking?
No, I don't know.
All right.
I think I'm good.
I'm gonna give you the floor. Go ahead and rate this movie 1 out of 10.
Man, I'll give it a solid 6. Like, I was entertained, you know.
All right.
But I wasn't. It wasn't to the point where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to buy that when it comes out on Blu-ray. I'm gonna to.
That's fair.
You know, that's gonna be one of those ones that right away I got to go rent that at the Redbox or something like that. But you know, I walk away from the theater. I feel like it was a well spent 2 hours. I suppose.
That's fair. I have to say, rookie score. He gave it a whole number. We can throw a little decimal point in there. I'm gonna give it 6.4 for the fans out there. Was gonna go 6.9, a little sex joke for the fans out there, but I don't want to round it up to 7. This is in the 6s. So when I was looking at showtimes last night, this was at 11% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think I heard today it was at 17. I'm not gonna say it was that bad of a movie. I was entertained. I'm gonna give it 6.4. So we got 6 right on the dot, 6.4. All Eyes on Me in theaters right now. Go check it out. This is Are You Entertained? Unfiltered Cinematics. I'm Trey Alessio, the Dawn of Entertainment with Jared Stansbury. We'll be back for more. Holla.